Attitude is it can't be done because they haven't seen it. They're judging according to appearances. The people that are going to make it in the future, the people that are making it today, let me share something with you. History is being read, but it's also being written by people with imagination.
Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every time.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
$1 billion.
So you listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a f***ing worthless loser? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich. Because at least as a rich man, when I have to face my problems, I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 gold watch.
If you decide to be rich today, who gonna stop you? Who?
Whatever reasons that we usually give ourselves in the beginning for why we can't achieve something, you can almost always find not only just someone, but someone who's achieved world-class levels of success with worse conditions than you currently have, which then means it's absolutely possible, and then the only thing that it takes to get there is work. If you're willing to suck at anything for 100 days in a row, you can beat most people at most things. Most of your competition quits after the first sign of difficulty because they've never known what hard feels like. The bar for excellence has never been so low.
Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting? The major question to ask on the job is, what are you becoming?
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past or how lofty your aims and hopes may be.
I think once you've actually learned how to try, really try, one thing for an extended period of time, every single day, and taken all of your discretionary effort and your money and your time and your resources and put it towards just doing that thing, you realize how easy it is to beat everyone else because of how few of them actually do that.
Your mental attitude is important because it acts as a magnet which attracts to you everything, every circumstance which makes you what you are and where you are.
Do the thing, and you'll get the energy to do the thing. Just say, I'm going after it, I'm going to get it, and your present circumstances got nothing to do with where you're going.
What you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. Think abundance, feel it, and the universe will mirror it back to you. When your desire is strong enough, you will find the way. Hold the image of your goal with unwavering faith, and the world will bend to meet your vision.
Any thought, plan, goal, or idea that you hold continuously in your conscious mind and that you intensely desire must be brought into reality by your superconscious mind. If you can hold it continuously, if you can emotionalize it, if you can visualize it in your conscious mind, the superconscious mind will begin to organize the entire universe of experience around you to draw into your life the people and circumstances necessary to make that idea come true.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't fucking have any. They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
I'm in no position to tell anyone how to live, but sneaking out like this, quitting, you'll regret it for the rest of your life.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
People will only cheer for you as long as you can't beat them at the game they value most. Friendly reminder that every person who doubts you is right until they aren't.
Most vicious propaganda ever. People kept telling me that money wasn't everything, and I believed it. Until I found out that the people who were saying that money wasn't everything were the people that had all the money.
Most people are thinking of how little money they have. They worry about being broke. They're worried about lack and poverty. They're worried about the prices of everything, and they're wondering why they're not flourishing financially, because they're thinking about poverty and lack rather than prosperity and abundance. You can program yourself to think like self-made millionaires. And remember, it has to start on the inside before it ever comes true on the outside.
People only root for others at 2 times. First, when they're at the beginning of the race. Second, when they finish. Neither is when you need it. So, you have to master the middle. The boring, exhausting, soul-crushing middle. That's where the winning happens, on your own.
You're going to make a decision right now, today, that you are never going to lower your standard of living. You have the potential that God gave you. You've got all the potential in the world. Anything anybody else does, you're quite capable of doing. But you've got to make a decision to do it. And don't worry about where the money or everything's going to come from. It'll come. When you make a decision, you'll always find the money. The way will always show itself.
Let me give you the key phrase on setting goals. Set the kind of goals that will make something of you to achieve them. Set the kind of goals that will make something of you to achieve them. Don't set your goals too low. Just don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. Go where the demands are high. Go where the pressure's on to perform, to grow, to change, to develop, to read, to study, to develop skill. Always keep that in mind. What will this make of me? If I set this goal and go for it, not only will I achieve it, but what will it make of me in the process? What a whole new concept on setting goals.
A great life is in front of you. It's not behind you. What you did back there ain't got nothing to do with what God got for you. What you did back there was learn the lessons to get you to where you are at this particular moment right here. But what God got for you, do you know, man, that you can actually mess your life completely up? You can jack it all the way up, and you can turn around and get it right.
Quit letting your outside world, don't let your outside world, don't let previous or present results control your thinking. Visualize what you want, get emotionally involved with it. The understanding leads to faith, and the faith manifests on the physical plane as health or well-being. You can literally transform the state of health that your body's in. I've seen people that close to death's door change it. I've watched people who are in terrible state literally change their life.
Any thought, any plan, any goal, any idea that you can hold continuously in your mind must be brought into reality by the superconscious. This is the reason for the greatness of every man and woman who ever lived, every great leader, writer, author, poet, or business person, and you can tap into this at will simply by defining with crystal clarity exactly what it is you want, and then thinking only about what you want, keeping your mind only on what you desire, and keep it off of everything else until it comes into your reality.
If you study statistics, 95% of the people live their entire life and never live the way they want to live. You know that 95% of the population in this country, they'll work productively, let's say for 40 of their 65 years, okay, and they'll end up with hardly any money. I think we'll arrive at the conclusion, geez, I better start thinking for myself rather than follow everybody. Most people, they get a job, they look around, they see how everybody else is doing their work, and they start doing it the same way. They should stop and think, I wonder if any of these people know what they're doing. You know, is there a better way to do it?
Observe, I use the word demand, not beg. The Creator never intended for you to beg for anything. If He had, He would not have blessed you with full control over your own mind. If your life is not what you want it to be, you can change it.
I think the message is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. So you don't want to give out negative things. What we believe about ourselves becomes true for us. Wake up to your own potential, realize how divine and magnificent you are, and realize you have the power to make changes. You are not stuck. You can begin to make changes by changing the way you think. It'll work miracles.
If you want to be successful, here's the thing you have to do. You have to jump. There is no way around it. Every successful person has jumped.
As a matter of fact, you can do anything within reason that you desire to do if you embrace the principle of applied faith and keep it directed to the attainment of the things you want and off the things you do not want.
Yeah, right? Life's hard. It's supposed to be. If we didn't suffer, we wouldn't learn a thing.
You have got to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. It is the law of attraction. It is real. It is nothing fake about it. The Bible says a man is as he thinketh. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you. If you live your life in despair, that's what happens to you.
If all your books, videos, and tweets were erased from the internet forever, and all you had was the next 60 seconds to leave to the world, what's the most useful thought you could leave to the world?
Figure out what you want. Ignore the opinions of others. And do so much volume that it would be unreasonable that you would be unsuccessful.
Says that everything great and worthwhile in human life is an accumulation of hundreds and sometimes thousands of tiny efforts and sacrifices that nobody ever sees or appreciates.
Understand that every choice you make ignites the compound effect, either in the positive or the negative.
To those who have everything, more will be given. From those who have nothing, everything will be taken. It's like what's very pessimistic in some sense, because it means that as you start to fail, you fail more and more rapidly. But it also means that as you start to succeed, you succeed more and more rapidly.
This law says that everything accumulates over time, that you may have to put in many, many tiny efforts that nobody sees or appreciates before you achieve anything worthwhile.
Everything changed for me when I understood this philosophy. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That's the simple philosophy that changed my life forever starting age 25. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living, which is fine. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune, which is super fun.
It's like a snowball. A snowball starts off very small, but it grows as it adds millions and millions of tiny snowflakes and continues to grow as it gathers momentum, turning into an avalanche that takes the whole mountain in front of it.
Big things have small beginnings.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know that. Everyone hears that. But Rome also didn't fall apart overnight either. It took hundreds of years for Rome to reach its peak, but it also took time, hundreds of years, for Rome to decay and fall apart.
Doing the thing in spite of not wanting to do the thing is discipline, right? You don't need motivation to get yourself up to go and do a thing. Make the promise small, build it up step by step. Know that you are going to have setbacks, and this is my favorite rule from James Clear, which is a habit missed once is a mistake. A habit missed twice is the start of a new habit.
The difference between you and the average person is you're willing to take more pain. You're willing to take more no's. You're willing to work longer and harder hours. You're willing to put in the suffering that other people just won't do. They'd rather go home and watch television and go drinking and watch sports on the weekend and so on. But all the people who are successful are willing to take the pain that goes with their work. And the greatest pain of all is being told no, being rejected, because we take it personally. We think it's something fundamentally wrong with us or our company or our product, and it hurts us and we feel bad inside. But once you can change your thinking about that and say, hey, no is good. No's are inevitable. They go with the territory. I promise you, if you will pursue no's, if you will go for no, if you'll try to get as many no's as possible, you're going to be a big success in life. Nothing will stop you. Because the more you get no's, the smarter you get, the faster you get, the quicker on your feet you get, and the fewer no's you get. The very willingness to go out and get all the no's makes it likely that eventually you get fewer and fewer no's and more yeses.
You've heard of the butterfly effect, right? Butterfly flaps its wings, one part of the planet. On the other side of the planet, there's a tsunami. That's exactly what happens in your life. Every choice you make ignites the butterfly effect. One little choice ignites a tsunami on the other side 10, 20 years down the road, either positive or negative. Every one of them.
Like every punch I ever thrown has been on my own. Nobody showed me how to do this. I'm ready.
So now you gotta ask yourself, are you here to prove something to other people? Or prove something to yourself?
There was a kid who everyone underestimated. Too small, too quiet, too ordinary. But every day while they laughed, he worked. In the gym, in the books, in the shadows. He knew one truth. Effort beats talent when talent doesn't try. Years later, they asked him how he did it, and he just smiled, because they never saw the grind. It's the quiet hustle that makes the loudest impact.
You must be willing to extend yourself to the limit, with no guarantee of success. Every day, you must ask yourself, did I do enough?
Do. Whatever it is that you're pursuing to achieve or create or express in the world, I think a lot of people back out before that happens. The fact that you've been doing this for a world.
Have you heard the story of the pottery class? So there's there's a teacher and he's got two classes that he teaches. And one class, he says, the only assignment for this whole semester is that you come back with a perfect clay pot. That's it. That's the assignment. The other class, he says, your objective is to make the most total quantity of clay pots, and you'll be measured by how many pots you make. And at the end of the quarter, the pots that came from the team that had to just make sheer volume, not only did they make more pots, but the quality of all of their pots was better compared to the teams that only had to make one. And it just underlines the biggest lesson that I've learned in my life, which is that volume negates luck.
You don't see how the consequences of that small, seemingly insignificant, poor choice in the moment has. In the moment, it doesn't look like it matters at all. You don't have that heart attack. Your face doesn't shrivel up. You're not shoved into the unemployment line. And your thighs don't turn thunderous. Oh, but you have done it. You have activated the compound effect. And that choice becomes behavior. And behavior that repeats becomes a habit. It accumulates, and then it compounds into calamity, into divorce, into career failure and financial ruin. The good news is the compound effect works in the other direction as well. You don't need to radically make over your life. You don't need to make quantum leaps of change. You don't need to completely overhaul your personality, your character, and your life. Super small, seemingly inconsequential adjustments can and will transform everything.
What if you can change your entire reality by simply believing it's possible?
85 to 90% of life is just showing up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen. Show up.
For that.
If you're cool with walking in the shadows of yourself and, the only person you got is the man right there in the shadow, man. How you doing? Pretty good. How you doing? All right, man. Cool. It's kind of weird having a conversation with you, but ain't no one else around because everyone else has faded way back then, way back there. If you're cool with that kind of walk of life, I can tell you, man, the world is your playground.
For the few people who were like me and felt like everyone told them there was something wrong with them, you are different, and that's okay. If you're okay with that, then it unleashes this whole new realm of possibility of being able to do what you want. He should build a family. He should have kids. He should have gotten married earlier. He should have married someone different. He shouldn't work this way. According to what?
Don't doubt your own ability. I'm asking you, don't let that disease grab you by the throat. Yes, it's easy to doubt that it can happen. It's easy to doubt. We've all got fears that want to crowd in. You can go through those strenuous times. If I can make it, you can make it.
How many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to fit in and be normal? Like, by being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
It's just go. That's the answer.
So action is an antidote to anxiety.
Create dream boards. You gotta put the new car up on your mirror. Put the weight you want to be on the refrigerator. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's the law of attraction. That's what you bring to you.
Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. What isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are.
What have you learned about how to deal with and overcome fear?
Go. When all that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, the closer you get, you're thinking about all the things that go wrong, all the bad things that are going to happen, all this stuff, they all disappear when you go. So just take action and start moving forward.
Here's the language of the poor. I'll try it a time or two and see what happens. The guy says, well, I'll give it 30 days. 30 days, you could guess his bank balance.
And there's a narrative that we should not criticize ourselves. We should not say the things that we could have done better. But I believe that that voice isn't an insecurity. I think it's a version that wants you to chase your potential.
I have found in my experience that income does not far exceed personal development. Now, sometimes income takes a lucky jump. But sure enough, unless you grow out where it is, it'll usually come back where you are. Life has strange ways. If somebody hands you $1 million, best you become a millionaire quickly. So you get to keep the money. Otherwise, sure enough, it'll disappear.
No one takes you seriously. It also means that they won't see you coming. And so it's an advantage that you only get once. So you might as well lean into it. Every man becomes an infinitely more dangerous version of themselves the moment they realize they don't need anyone's approval or permission. Because there's no greater waste of time than defending your actions to people whose life you don't want.
The odds were stacked against me. I won anyway. Because I win.
You won because you got lucky.
Guys like you always think other people get lucky. I don't get lucky. I make my own luck. And in this case, it's bleeding you dry.
People demand success, but refuse to work weekends. People want opportunity, but won't talk to strangers. People claim ambition, but sleep in every day. Everyone wants to be successful. No one wants to be embarrassed. But the price of the first is the second. We are the result of our actions, not our aspirations.
If you're not falling on your face over and over again, if you're not trembling when you go to sleep with your heart pounding, then what is happening is you're not trying hard enough. You're living too far within your potential. That all really successful people live on the outside edge of what they're capable of. And it's always a little bit scary on the outside edge because we all have feelings of uncertainty. We all have fears. We all have doubts that hold us back. But the brave person is simply the person who moves forward and keeps taking the chance. And you cannot imagine a successful person without courage. You cannot imagine a successful person without the courage to face and confront their fears and to move forward. There's no security in life, only opportunity. Life is very perverse in a way because the more we seek security, the less we have it. And the more we seek opportunity, the more we have security. Helen Keller said this beautifully. She said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. She said the tendency to seek security is the low road to failure. That courage is absolutely essential. And one of the things that I used to think that if you were really courageous, eventually you got to the point where you weren't afraid. I'm going to tell you something, that if you're not a little bit afraid, at least 3 or 4 nights a week, you're not trying hard enough.
Not knowing or not understanding why my opportunity hasn't or isn't. There's frustration in that. But there's also a sense of calm that comes in confidence of knowing that you're putting the work in for a reason and that it will pay off. I had to make the change of saying, I'm doing the work. Am I showing up every day and am I prepared? And if this opportunity does come, am I ready for it?
When I think about how hard I want to work, the interesting thing about that is that the only person who can judge you on your success is you, because you're the only one who knows how much left in the tank you really had. And the better you get, you start winning exteriorly. And that's when people are like, it felt so empty. It's because they didn't actually work as hard as they could have. They just worked hard enough to beat everyone else. But that discrepancy between how hard you could have worked to work your hardest versus what was required in order to win, to me, that's the opportunity that shifting towards the work being the goal unlocks for you. And I work harder now than I did when I was poor. And I think it's because I've learned to enjoy it.
In my experience, the fear of failure is the greatest single reason for failure in adult life. The fear of failure, the fear of making a mistake, of losing our money, our time, our effort, is what paralyzes us and holds us back. But the fear of failure is a habit which can be counteracted by the habit of courage. And if we don't overcome that fear of failure, then we'll just be like the 80-90% that do not fulfill their potential. See, the wonderful thing is only a few percentage of people fulfill their potential in any generation. And we can join those people simply by deciding to do so and doing what the other people do.
It's simple. Start tomorrow, avoid discomfort, take advice from poor people on how to get rich, blame your circumstances, find a spouse who makes you feel guilty about working, complain, make promises, then break them, especially to yourself. Do ordinary work, expect extraordinary results. And lastly, and probably most importantly, assume you're always right. That is my step-by-step guide on how to stay poor.
He was the man no one noticed. Quiet, ordinary, invisible. Life passed him by like a train he missed long ago. But in the stillness, he heard something. Not a voice, a pull. He stopped waiting for a sign and became one. Started small. A cold shower, a morning run, a book instead of a screen. He failed, then showed up anyway. The world didn't clap, but the mirror did. He didn't beat the odds by force. He beat them by becoming someone they never saw coming. The most powerful shift is when you stop asking for change and become it.
When you're growing in a business, it's very painful. When you're stagnating in a business and you're plateaued and you don't know what to do, it's very painful. When you're declining and you also don't know what to do, it's very painful. And so that means that all conditions of reality are painful. And so if pain is a prerequisite for reality, then it means it's just a signal that we are alive. And so in thinking about that, rather than pain as a problem, it is a signal that I'm breathing, and then becomes irrelevant.
Many people are so busy watching what happened in the past, they don't realize that the real opportunities are in the future. Now here's a lesson that I learned, is never worry about things that you cannot change. And you cannot change a past event. There are many things in our world that we cannot change. So don't waste any time worrying about things you can't change. Focus on the things that you can change. And the only thing that you can control is the way you think. If you think differently, you feel and you act differently. If you feel and act differently, you get different results and you achieve different goals.
We all have two choices. We can make a living or we can design a life. If you can design a life, why not a good one?
That's all I want to do is go the distance. And if I can go that distance, I'm gonna know for the first time in my life that I weren't just another bum from the neighborhood.
You know what I'm sick and tired of, Harry? I'm sick and tired of having to eke my way through life. I'm sick and tired of being a nobody.
You don't change it, you don't fix it. And what happens? Well, it's not like it's going to get better of its own accord. What's going to happen to you? Well, for sure, at minimum, what's going to happen to you is you're going to be in the same situation, but 10 years older. And if you can't get out of that situation now, what the hell makes you think you're going to get out of it in 10 years? You're 10 years older, you're 10 years more bitter, you're 10 years more cynical. Maybe by that time your marriage has collapsed because who the hell wants to live with you?
It's not becoming a millionaire that's important. It's the person that you must become in order to become a millionaire. You have to become a completely different person. You have to develop character beyond 99% of the people in the world. You have to develop honesty and discipline and quality relationships and the willingness and the ability to work and set priorities and all kinds of stuff.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same, as we are liberated from our own fear.
Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. So act as if. It's not pretending, it's preparing.
Are they here?